Welcome back, Shark Kings. Today's finally the day that they're going to release the games that are going to be leaving PS Plus Extra. The last chance to play is finally updated. It is April 24th. They are so late with this. So let's see the games that are going to be leaving next month. All right, we're going to go through them really quick. So right off the bat, we can see there are a lot of games leaving. Let's see, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 games are leaving. That is insane. But a lot of these games are PS Premium games, and a lot of the games are PSVR 2 games. So without further ado, let's just go through all of the games that are leaving right now. So let's get to the list right away, and let's focus on Extra first, because this is a PS Plus Extra channel. So let's go. We have Grand Theft Auto 5, MotoGP 24, The Sims 4 Island Living Expansion Pack, Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition, Stranded Alien Dawn, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and the Lego Movie 2 video game, Ghostrunner, Journey to the Savage Planet, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Portal Knights, and Enter the Gungeon. These PlayStation Hits games were actually part of the PS collection, so that's Batman Arkham Knight and Infamous Second Son. And those are all the games that are leaving Extra. Now for Premium, we have the Resistance games, so that's Resistance Fall of Man and Resistance 2. Everything else is not only for Premium, but it is for PSVR 2, and that includes Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, Frozen Empire, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, and then Part 2, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution, Before Your Eyes, Synth Riders, and Walkabout Mini Golf. So these are all the games on the Last Chance to Play list. There is a lot of them, but a lot of them are for Premium and PSVR 2. If you are here only for the list, just leave a like on your way out. You don't have to watch the whole video. So out of all of these ones, the only ones we predicted to go were Stranded Alien Dawn, GTA 5, and The Sims 4 Island Living. So why the prediction video was so wrong was because we always focus on a year and 2-year contracts. So that is May of 2023 and May of 2024. Now from May 2024, only these 3 games were leaving. And that's Stranded Alien Dawn, which we covered, but the other 2 were Lego games. Lego games never leave, so that was a surprise for us. And then the other extra games were from November 2024, so this is kind of weird too. GTA 5 we predicted would leave because Rockstar games only stay 6 months, so that is fine. But The Sims 4 and MotoGP 24 and the 2 Resistance games all only had 6-month contracts, which is kind of crazy. The PSVR games were not released in May of 2024. They were in June of 2024. So this has me a little bit confused. Are these games leaving in June or are they leaving in May? Why are the PSVR 2 games only staying 11 months instead of 12? And then the biggest news of all is all of these games. So all of these games were released on Extra on June of 2022. And that is the month that the new PS Plus was announced. So this was part of the original lineup of games when they announced PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium. Is this a sign of things to come? I don't know. I hope not. That concludes the list of the games. So what we're going to do now is going to go into each specific game and talk about what the game is about, what it looks like, and whether you should give it a try. So if you're here for just the best of the games, let's see all the ratings. We're going to sort it by rating. So obviously GTA 5 is top of the list with the score of 97, but everyone's played it by now. But these games on PSVR are surprisingly really high rated. Walkabout Mini Golf and Synth Riders. So if you have PSVR 2, if you're lucky enough to have that, play these games before they're gone. And then obviously Batman Arkham Knight, play that if you haven't already, because it is a really good game. But to be honest, you can get all 3 games for $10 sometimes, so I wouldn't worry too much about the Batman games. The 2 Resistance games are really good, 87 and 86. Sims 4 I would not bother with because that ruins your base game. And then these 3 games I highly recommend. That's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Enter the Gungeon, and Ghostrunner. They're both in the 80s. Now Ghostrunner was a monthly game for March of 2022. And if we care about short games, since this is a short games channel, let's sort it by hours. So obviously the PSVR games are really short with 2 and 6 hours. The Lego game is really short, but I wouldn't bother with it because it has a 57. The first winner is Ghostrunner. Ghostrunner is only 7 hours and it has a rating of 81. Journey to the Savage Planet, 74, I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it's good on paper, but playing it, not a big fan. Infamous Second Son, recommend it, but it's part of the PS Plus collection. And that's about it for short games. The only other one on the list that really stands out is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's a really good game, but it's a bit long at 14 hours. Enter the Gungeon is a great game, but it is a roguelike, so just buy that one instead because you'll play it over and over and over again. And Enter the Gungeon was added for free in the Play at Home event of March 2021. So let's jump into the games one by one and see what they all look like if you're not familiar with them. Okay, so you're probably wondering about the footage, so let's talk about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's a gothic horror action RPG that was released in 2019 by Koji Igarashi. You might recognize the name, you might not, but he is best known for the Castlevania series, so that's why it looks like a Castlevania game, particularly Symphony of the Night. This game is widely considered to be a spiritual successor to the Metroidvania-style Castlevania games, and it was actually crowdfunded through Kickstarter, where it became one of the platform's most successful video game campaigns of all time. Your character slowly crystallizes her body. The more demons you defeat, the more crystals you get, so you get more powerful, but you also get more corrupt. The gameplay involves exploring a large, interconnected world filled with demons and bosses. As you progress, you gain new abilities that allow you to access previously unreachable areas, just like any other Metroidvanias. But this game, right off the bat, you can change so many things. You can change your weapon and gear, like within the first minute. And like previously stated, by collecting these shards from enemies, you grant more magical powers and abilities. There's even a crafting system for weapons, armors, and items, as well as a cooking system that provides various buffs. The art style is like a bit between 3D and 2D. It's like 2.5D, I guess, with 3D models on 2D planes. It gives it a unique visual aesthetic while still maintaining its classic PS1 side-scrolling gameplay. The soundtrack is great if you like the Castlevania series, because it's the same guys. And if you're just looking at it thinking it's a weeb game, maybe it is a weeb game, I don't know. It does have some Japanese artistic influences, so it does incorporate some anime-inspired character designs and aesthetic elements. However, its core gameplay and gothic horror themes are derived from the Castlevania series, which, to be fair, has a long history of international appeal. So it's kind of like a Japanime style, but a dark European castle setting. And some enemy designs, I would say, have partial nudity, and characters have very revealing outfits. So the game has a dark style, demons, monsters, supernatural, everything you expect. It's not as extreme as some M-rated games, but the overall tone is definitely intended for mature audiences. So I don't know, it's up to you whether this is a weeb game or not. Alright, let's talk about the other game, Journey to the Savage Planet. This game should be right up my alley, but it just didn't hit. But I'll still tell you about it. Maybe it'll hit with you. It's a first-person adventure game that combines exploration, platforming, and light combat in a vibrant, colorful alien world. You're working for like a corrupt corporation that doesn't take your life or safety too seriously, so it kind of has, I'm going to say, a very loose element of Deep Rock Galactic. But it's not nearly as good. So give me a rock and stone in the comments. It's full of strange creatures and bizarre landscapes and kind of fun to explore. It has a humorous tone with satirical corporate messaging throughout, and these videos are like real videos that real people acted out, not just like animated. The gameplay mainly focuses on scanning wildlife, collecting resources, and solving environmental puzzles. As you collect more things, you can eventually upgrade your equipment. That'll make exploring a lot easier. There's even an optional co-op mode, allowing 2 players to explore together. Journey to the Savage Planet is known for its quirky humor, colorful art style, and focus on exploration rather than combat. You don't have to kill every little alien you see, although you can if you're a sicko. While you do have your weapons, much of your time is spent just scanning wildlife and learning more about them, collecting samples, and just generally discovering the secrets of the planet. It's a relatively short game, but I don't know, for me it feels like it's dragged on personally. The combat feels somewhat basic, or I would say underdeveloped. The enemy variety is pretty limited, especially in the beginning, and the platforming can be frustrating for some players. Now, I played it on the PS4, and I just played it again today, and it does kind of stutter, and the frame rate kind of lags a little bit, but maybe the sequel fixed all those things. Many players said it reminded them of Metroid Prime meets No Man's Sky, although on a much smaller scale. It does have a tiny but dedicated fan base, so I'm sorry I'm offending you guys, who appreciate its focus on exploration and its offbeat sense of humor, especially the in-game commercials and corporate messaging from Kindred Aerospace. The game found its sweet spot being a mid-tier title that didn't try to be a massive open world game, but instead it delivered a tightly designed colorful adventure with personality that's still sort of in an open world, but just not a huge open world. So if this seems like up your alley, give it a try. Give it like an hour, see if it sticks with you. It's creative, I'll give it that. Alright, and the last game I want to talk about is Ghostrunner. I know there's a lot of good games on here, like Enter the Gungeon, GTA 5, and Batman Arkham Knight, but I just don't think there's enough time to actually beat them. So I'm going to try to focus on games that are 14 hours and under. So Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was the longest one at 14 hours. Journey to the Savage Planet can be beat in 7 hours, and this one right here, Ghostrunner, is also 7 hours, and it has a rating of 81. So I'm only going to talk about 3 games to make this video kind of short. So if you didn't play this already in March of 2022, it was a monthly game back then on Essential, but I guess Essential wasn't a thing, it was just called PS Plus. So it was a PS Plus monthly game on March of 2022, but if you never tried it, let me tell you about it. It is a first-person cyberpunk action platformer game. You play as a cybernetically enhanced sword-wielding assassin with incredible parkour abilities. So imagine Mirror's Edge, first-person parkour, except you have a sword. And also, if you get hit once, you die. So you try and try again, and it's a game where you die a lot. Ghostrunner is known for its fast-paced and challenging gameplay. The platforming elements are very precise. The game has been praised for its tight controls, fluid movement systems, and the satisfaction you get of mastering its challenging combat encounters. It creates a system of die, retry, try again, succeed. The game's challenging difficulty was both praised for its rewarding nature and criticized for potentially frustrating a lot of players. So you're either going to love it or hate it. Now, what's going to throw you off about this game is its first person. Platforming games are meant to be third person, but if you like Mirror's Edge and you like first person parkour, you're going to love this game. For me though, I love trying to find bugs in this game. Here are my favorite bugs from the game so far. Okay, here I am just minding my own business, trying to jump over the sign, and oh my god, what's going on? Why did that happen? I'm dead. Anyways, I don't want the video to drag on too long. I just wanted to put a spotlight on some lesser known games that might be worth a try because you might actually have time to beat them. As much as I would love to recommend Enter the Gungeon, Batman Arkham Knight, Stranded Alien Dawn, there simply isn't enough time. Also, I'd love to talk about Infamous Second Son, but similar to Batman Arkham Knight, it was part of the PS collection. So I'd personally wait on those games as to not run into licensing issues. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry the predictions were off this month, but Sony has been wild this month. Let's pause right there, and until next time, be a friend, and I'll see you again.